Hey, everybody, you've got Elizabeth and Joanne with World's Cup of Joe, Awaken Your Soul, here with you today. The topic today that we are going to dive into is how to get to that space, that energetic space where your twin flame, your divine masculine, is pretty much obsessed with you. And all they can think about is you. And so before we get into this topic, I just want to sort of give an indication of what we're going to talk about. And that's the energy right after separation, when you're still in that separation phase 1 versus the energy when you're in balancing phase 2. And if you guys don't know about the different stages of energy, check out our community. We have a whole series on it explaining the different energy stages of this connection. And you will feel the divine truth, like just like hitting you. I'm telling you, it's that real. You can identify which stage you're in based on the community series. So check it out and really shift with us in this. So I want to sort of share with you guys, when I first started bringing my soul, my divine masculine back in, and I was trying to figure out how to do this balancing thing, right? Joanne, you were there the whole time guiding me. And that is where I'm at today. But I remember my person was going out with friends, and he didn't really go out with friends when we were living together before separation. He was always just with me. And suddenly we're separated. I'm balancing him in little by little. And he tells me he's going to this wine bar with some guys he met. And Joanne, I called you instead of spewing my energy to my person. I called you. And I was just like, oh my gosh, here. And you asked me, you're like, what is the mind fearing? What is the fear that's coming up for you? And I was honest with you. I was like, I'm worried he's going to see some beautiful women.
Hold on. I have to share.
Yeah.
I have to share. When you were telling me that he was out, it was like urgent. Like
it was panic.
Like that.
It was panic. I was panicked. Yeah, for sure. Addictive, obsessive energy, panicked. I was like, I don't know how to handle this. I'm freaking out.
But see, that's the difference, my loves. That's the difference. That's the reason why me and Elizabeth help so much, is because that's the urgent, obsessive energy that you are all spewing on your person. And Elizabeth knew right off the bat, crap, I have something inside me. It's coming out. It's going cray-cray, and I need to release it. And that's what it was. Your biggest fear was, go ahead.
So yeah, you'd ask me like, what is going on? What are you fearing? And I was like, at the time we lived in Phoenix, and he was going to this wine bar in Scottsdale. So my mind was creating these gorgeous, thin, attractive, fancy designer wearing clothes, women at this wine bar. And my person is extremely attractive. And I was picturing them all going up and hitting on him, and like hit these women catching his eye. And here I am thinking, I was so insecure at the time. And I was like, there's no way he's going to think about me when all these gorgeous women are going to most likely go up and talk to him when he's at this wine bar. And that's where my mind went.
So I want to share what I told you after we share what you're doing now. So when Elizabeth was going through her cray-cray stuff, I actually reminded her today when she shared with me how balanced she is with her person now. And I was like, oh my gosh, I totally remember when you were in separation. So remember this moment, guys. But go ahead, Elizabeth, share your balanced energy now. You guys heard the panic. Elizabeth was going cray-cray. And then I was able to help her get through it. And I'll share that later with you guys on how and why it makes sense, and why that is why her person sees her more magnetic now than it was before. But it's actually really easy. Twin flame obsessed with you, my loves, is freaking easy. It's effing easy. Like, I can't even express how easy it is. But go ahead and finish, love, and then let's get deep on both of those examples.
Yeah, it's just energy, my loves. That's the secret. It's just energy.
Yes.
Okay, so my person had to go on a business trip overnight last night to another state. And he texted me, and he was texting me the whole time he was away, right? And I have been balancing like a champion. And he texted me last night saying, "Ugh, I'm so tired, but my boss wants to go out and drink, and I'm going to go to the bar with him." And there were no thoughts. Like, put it this way, I didn't even respond to his text. I didn't need to. Message me that, and it was like, I can do two things right now. I can go and think about all the stories the mind wants to create over him going to a bar and drinking with his boss, or I can go about my day come back to my own feet right now. I can come back to my own present moment right now, and I can do my own thing. And literally I kept working. I went upstairs, I read, and I didn't really give two thoughts to what he could be doing. There was this part of, there was like, there's no energy going to go towards what he's thinking, doing, or feeling in this moment, because regardless of what he is thinking, doing, and feeling, it would be a story. It would be a story, just like it was a story all those years ago when he was going to go to a wine bar and my mind created stories. And let's get real, y'all. Let's get real, y'all. We will never know what actually happens when they are not in our present moment, and it will always be a story. So when we live through mind, we're living through stories that are not based on, they're not real. We're living through stories. When we're in the present moment, all that matters is what is around us in our own space. And it brings such peace to get out of the stories, because the stories are always fear-based. They're always lowest scale energies. And when you're in the present moment, you're naturally raising your vibration. And this is how I felt last night. Seriously, this is how I felt. And this is what I told you, Joanne. It was like, I know that if I'm being aligned with soul, whether my person goes to a bar or not, if he's at a bar, if there's gorgeous women or not, it doesn't matter, because he's going to be thinking of me, because my energy is going to be so radiant, flowing to him, that all he'll be able to do is think about me. Now, if I were in mind and I was texting him and blowing up his phone, like, who's at the bar? Are you talking to anybody? Or he would be able to see those other women, because I would be teaching him. And so staying in your goddess soul energy really is what's transcending to them. And really, that's all they're going to be able to see and think about. And I'm telling you, my loves, he text messaged me all day long on his trip away. First thing he does is call me this morning. And it's like, of course he's going to. When I messaged him, he messaged me back immediately, because I was in soul when I messaged him. And honestly, when I messaged him this morning after I got off the phone with him, I messaged him, and we don't really do that as divine feminines that much, but it was through soul. And as soon as I sent that message, I deleted it right after. Why? Because I don't ever want to ruminate on anything I send him. And it's like this place of peace. And I came back to the present moment. And then you and I were talking about this, and then you brought up, all those years ago. So go ahead, my love.
So now fast forward to what we started telling you guys. Okay, so I told Elizabeth, oh my gosh. Well, first I said, of course you're not going to give enough, because remember this energy, guys. I've told you guys this before. I'm going to say it time and time and time and time and time again. So if there's any divine feminines that ever worry about a third party or some magical woman out there that's ever going to steal your divine masculine's hearts away from you, I want you to know your divine masculine is hooked on you. They are hooked on you, my love. They're hooked on you because you are their soul. No one can touch their soul. No one can touch their soul when you're in freaking soul. And so Elizabeth said this really magical thing that she said. But before I share that, I want to remind you guys. So when I told you guys, hey, remember that whole scene where Elizabeth, when she was in separation, she was really, really worried. She called me on the phone. That same message I gave her is the same message I'm sharing with all of you now. There is nothing that can touch your soul when you're in soul. And I wish them the F luck, because as soon as you're in soul, they gravitate to their soul, and they're not going to be able to see anyone else. Everyone else will be a blur. Everyone else will be like, why the F am I here? I got to get back to my soul. I got to get back urgently to my divine feminine, right? They got to get back to their soul. They have to run their divine masculine's booty that was running from you back to you, because they can feel your energy when you're in soul. And so now Elizabeth, now balanced, now in permanent relating experience, obviously was able to balance that, because we understand this energy, my loves, and she gets it, because I told her, remember that happened a long time ago? Remember how you were able to now shift into this like goddess energy that knows you are one soul? that knows he's not going anywhere. And so this is the really, really profound thing she shared with all of you guys. This is the profound thing that we want you both to get on this call. If you allow your mind to fear, if you allow your mind to create stories, then yes, your person's going to be further and further and further away from you. So those fears, oh, he's going to meet this woman and this and blah, 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 blah. All those stories, right? All those fears, all those mind energies. Yes, it will put them further away from you, and it's going to manifest your biggest effing fears, because that's just the way the universe works. You're either vibrating through love or you're vibrating through fear. And I'm sorry, my love, Conversations with God, it spells it out. You will manifest your biggest fear. So whatever fear you have, face them now. Send it love. Seriously, send it love. Send that fear love. And in this case, the fear that Elizabeth had before was the fear that somebody magical was going to steal him away. She sent that fear love and gave herself the love that she is to realize the goddess that she is, and became love. So much love that her person craves her, contacts her, calls her, like yearning for her. Instead of like being present of wherever he is, he has to have her in like in the back of his pocket, trying to get home to her. And she doesn't give an F. She's purely in soul, not giving an F, because when you start giving an F, you're in mind. And when you're in mind, you're in fear, you're in push.
Joanne, real quick, I wanted to tell you that not only was he messaging, he literally took me with him the whole day, even though he was gone and he was on this, a really important work trip. I was there in his hotel room. He's sending me pictures of his view. He's sending me pictures of when he was at the work meeting and the smorgasbord of food that they put out there. He's sent me messages when he was at the restaurant. He was sending me messages of conversations he had with his boss. And I want to tell you, my person, he's very, very concise when he texts, and he'll text me a lot of, like I've told, pictures of our goats, and he'll text me a lot of Twitter messages, but he doesn't text me a lot of like a narrative. And like all day yesterday, it was like this ongoing narrative of what his trip was. And so literally I felt like I was with him the whole time, because he made sure to show me in pictures, as well as tell me everything that was going on with his day. And I wasn't ever asking for any of it. And I didn't even feel a need to respond to everything. Like the pictures of the view, I was like, oh, wow, that's beautiful. But I didn't have to ask. I didn't have to seek anything from him. He was just thinking of me through every step of his day. Why? Because I was focusing on me the whole time he was gone. Seriously, I was doing my own thing. I was focusing on me. And the result was he was messaging me all day to include me in his trip.
And the difference between balanced in this permanent relating experience is this energy where you are embodying the love, the soul energy that you are, to where your divine masculine craves you. And you just brought me into my separation and balance energy too, my love. So I remember, and a lot of you guys, if you know, those that are members only know that video specifically during separation. There's a video that we shared on energy, and I was talking about how my person, so whenever there's separation for TFs, there is a moment where your addictive energy that you have for your person, well, that addictive energy through your person has to be released elsewhere. And for my person, addictive energy being released elsewhere was his work. He was so obsessed with his work that he would like just really completely snap me out of his day. Like, wasn't even part of his day at all. And it was just his work all day, his work. And I remember thinking, like, I was never part of his day at all, so much that his work must be so important to him that I'm never going to be able to have a space in his day. And fast forward to now, my person can't even focus working without texting me throughout the day. Like, I know when his meetings are happening. I know when he has his break. I know when he has his lunch. I know when he's walking outside, because he has to text me and update me the whole freaking time. And it's just like you, love. You sounded just like me, where I'm like, I don't give an F. I'm literally like doing my own thing. I'm, trying to do my gym. I'm trying to work out. I'm going to go eat. And I'm like, oh, why is he blowing me up? Why is he texting me? Why is he like updating me the whole time during work? Like, just wait till you get home. You're going to see me when you get home. But our freaking people are so obsessed with this soul energy. Your person is going to be so obsessed with your soul energy, my love, that they cannot have anything in the way. They can't have people in the way. They can't have their work in the way. They have to come to you right after their work, during their work.
Hold on. Joanne, I have something I feel like is really important. Like, obviously, all of our divine masculines are different. They're going to have different personalities, but the energy sort of all reacts the same. So I want to sort of share this thing that happened a couple weeks ago. So my person woke up feeling not the greatest. And I don't know if I've shared this in another video, but I feel like it's relevant to this conversation. So he woke up not feeling the greatest. And when he saw me, he was just like, oh, I don't feel good. I don't feel good. I don't feel good. And he went outside and he saw the goats. And I was outside at the time he saw the goats. And for all of you that have been watching, he loves our goats. They are his babies. And I hear him say, hi, babies. Good morning. Do you want breakfast? And he was like, so cheerful. And here he was to me. I don't feel good. I don't feel good. And I got in mind. I will tell you guys, I got in mind. And I asked him in mind a question. You guys get it? Mind our questions. So I was just like, how is it that you can be so happy and be so nice to the goats and say good morning? And with me, it's just like, oh, I don't feel good. Here's his response. And this is what I want you guys to get this message for, right? His response, first of all, he pulled because I asked a question, but then I realized as quickly as he pulled what I had done. And I went and I said, you know what? I'm sorry. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you say hi to the goats and are friendly. It really, I shouldn't have said that. And he was just like, you want to know why I come to you and tell you how sick I feel, or when I get like that? He's like, because you're my source of comfort. He's like, I come to you and I tell you I don't feel good because you're the one person that when I tell I don't feel good, I know you'll be there to comfort me. And when he said that, I sort of melted a little bit. And I had to get out of that ruminating phase, right? We can't ruminate on those things. But I realized, so this morning after, and it comes all full circle back to him going out last night and drinking. He calls me first thing this morning. And the first thing he says is, I feel like crap. I feel like crap. And I said, did you drink last night? And he never drinks. And he's like, yeah, I had 2 drinks, but I spaced them out, but I feel really sick. And he was that same tone that he had that morning that I got upset with him and the goats. And I realized, so I didn't say anything. And when I told you guys that I messaged him something that was straight from soul after we got off the phone, I really didn't engage with him in mind about him saying he didn't feel good. But when we got off the phone, I sent him a quick message. But as soon as I sent it, I got a response. I got a heart of that message. And I know it's because I was in soul. And I know it was because I didn't care about what his response was to my message. But that's the whole thing. I want you guys to know that the mind will take things our people do or things our people say, and it'll create a story. My story with him was he can't be nice to me, but he could be nice to the animals. And it was like me getting jealous of our animals. Like, it's so crazy. That's what the mind was doing. When in actuality, he feels so comforted by me. He feels he could be his truest and authentic self at all times, even if that means him telling me he does not feel good. So I really want you guys to hear that, because the mind will always turn it into something that is fear-based, when it should be something that we can release without judgment and send love to. And that's what I did this morning. I heard him say he didn't feel good. And the mind could have easily said, well, he shouldn't have drank. He shouldn't have gone out and done all those things about him going out with the jealousy, right? It didn't go there at all. It was like, he's telling me I'm his source of comfort. And that's where I focused, and that's where I responded. And then I went back to present.
It's crazy. We just had a call yesterday, and we had a client that was like trying to understand how to balance the connection on how to balance calls with her person. And she was wondering if she has to hang up. She has to hang up during her conversations with her person. And me and Elizabeth's answer is like, you can do whatever you want with your person as long as you're balanced. And we were all getting deep with the conversation of like, you know what, sometimes we're talking and it's like, there's really no reason behind it where their person is calling them. But that's what you made me realize, love, is when our people come to us with their energy of comfort, needing comfort, they're really asking our soul's energy to kind of bring them light. We bring them love.
Yeah.
We bring them the peace that they crave. They desperately crave us. They desperately crave the heck out of you because they do not know how to get into soul. And when all you embody is soul, and this is why Elizabeth has this like profound realization of like the difference between her energy between separation and now she is simply soul. And we were talking about how if she spent the whole night last night worried like she used to when she was in separation about her person meeting someone, like this magical person that we make up in our head, she would have been in so much mind, so much fear that he wouldn't be able to see her. So all of you beautiful souls, all you beautiful divine feminines, for your person to see you, for your person to feel you, for your person to crave you, they're begging you, my love, to be soul, to be that soul that is the peace to them that they cannot have and will not have anywhere else by anyone else but you. And you all know this. We've helped so many beautiful souls. Their person comes like instantaneously, so freaking fast. There's no freaking rhyme. There's no reason. There's no explanation. Sometimes they just show up without even conversations. They show up in dire need of your energy, my
Joanne,
love.
you just said something exactly piggybacking on in dire need of our energy. Because remember, they are us. They don't know how to create this energy for themselves, essentially. So they come to us because we are the peace, we are the comfort. Now, it made me think about how his reaction was to the goats. Well, we tell you all the time, like your quickest way to align with soul is actually through nature. And for me, it's always been animals. I see the birds and I can go outside. I could be near the animals and I can get a soul high. And I'm realizing it's like the goats get him almost aligned with soul because he doesn't know how to do it for himself. But because he is me, he is seeking me and my energy to do that same for him in that place of peace and comfort. So he's sort of seeking externally through the goats to align with soul. And then he's sort of like needing, there's a difference though. He's needing me to be aligned with soul for him.
Yeah, because he doesn't associate, he can't associate that yearning of where it comes from other than you're the peace.
Yeah.
You're the peace.
And like
you're the answer to his stress, his worries that mind gives that everyone else that he's going to relate with, which including this made up girl that we put in our head, right? They will be in mind. They will not be able to give peace. All these people that you guys have imagined your person.
No, because they're conditional. Anyone else that our person, that our divine masculine will ever meet will be conditional. It'll be a conditional situation because unless you're awakened and know how to align with soul and know what this spiritual journey is, your own spiritual journey, you're in mind. You don't even know you're in mind. And that's the whole thing. That's the difference between awakened and non-awakened. I'm explaining it to my daughter. The difference between being awakened is knowing that you are not your mind, your physical. You are the one observing. You are the watcher. We are the only one that will be able to love them from this place of unconditional love when we align with soul. The only one. They'll never get it from anybody else.
Yeah. And it was so funny when I was telling Elizabeth, I'm like, you don't gotta worry about any of that. And she was like, yep. All I gotta worry about is being in soul. And we were just laughing. Like me and Elizabeth were literally cracking up. I'm like, you don't gotta worry about your freaking hair. You don't gotta worry about makeup. You don't gotta worry about like the perfect outfit, having a freaking six pack. Like, you know, like we do not have
it's funny,
to worry. There's no competition with soul.
There is this. So Okay, so I never wear makeup. I hardly ever wear makeup. I do when we go out, right? And I went and I was going out one day and I put makeup on and I looked really pretty. And I went over to my person and I was like, you have about like 2 minutes to look at my face all made up and me look pretty right now. And he was like, I don't understand. You always look pretty. And he's like, you do look really beautiful right now, but you always look pretty. And I want you guys to feel that. Like, he thinks I look beautiful, even at my worst, even when I look in the mirror at my worst. And that's the difference. It's the same. They see us the same way we see them.
Because we see them perfect.
Yeah.
We see. So my person, we were going to go to my son's game. And I was putting makeup on. You know, I see all the soccer moms and they're all really cute. So I was trying to be decent looking and I was putting makeup on and he's like, you don't need makeup. And I was like, well, you know, and I was lifting all these other pretty soccer moms that wear makeup. And he's like, well, that's because they need makeup. You don't need makeup. Your face does not need makeup. It was like this moment where I realized, like, to our people, there's nothing we need extra. To them, we're perfect. We really are. We don't need makeup. We don't need a pretty dress. We don't need to, what was it that your sister-in-law asked you, love? Because it's the same thing. I don't work out for my person either. You know what I mean, love?
She asked, is he, because I just started going to the gym. And it's funny because I asked him something about like, me going to the gym and he was like, you do whatever you want to do. Like, I don't care what you do. Like, you go to the gym. Well, anyway, so my sister-in-law asked me, like his sister-in-law, and she asked me, she's like, is he being supportive of you? And I was like, he's always supportive of me. But at the end of the day, it needs to be me motivating me, because this is the difference between a soulmate and a twin flame. My ex-husband would have been on me on like, are you going to go to the gym? When are you going to go to the gym? Have you weighed in? Like, he would have been in mind about me going to the gym. And he would have thought that either motivating me by telling me I don't look good or motivating me by telling me I do look good. Whereas our person is like, you're at all times and I want you to do something that you want to do and it has nothing to do with me. That's how they act. So when I didn't tell my sister-in-law that, or his sister-in-law that, because someone that's asleep and not in this connection doesn't understand that, but he is being supportive of me by not doing anything, if that makes sense. Like, there's no good or bad when it comes to me going to the gym in terms of in how he feels. Like, he doesn't give two thoughts about it either way, because it's my decision. It's me who's doing it. And he's in soul about it. So when he's interacting with me, there is no good or bad with me going to the gym. There's no duality with it.
No. I think we are living our best now moments with every decision we make for us here on out, my loves, all of you. You're going to have to gauge yourself every day on every now moment on feeling amazing for you, making decisions for you, not for your person, and just feeling into the perfection, the goddess, the being that you are, that your person knows you are. They know who you are. That's exactly the reason why your person craves you when you're in soul, because you know who you are. And Elizabeth, you had a really deep conversation with someone recently too, where it was like you were able to tell somebody that they did not know who they were, because they didn't even know how to do anything that involved soul.
I want you guys to sort of envision this too, because you and I, Joanne, lately have been talking a lot about how to shift to the permanent space of who we want to be at all times. What does that look like? And how do we act? We want to start manifesting our best life by being the best version of ourselves. And what does that look like? So I have this beautiful friend, and she's very spiritual and she's very awakened, but she's still learning, right? And I feel like I can help kick it up a notch for her. So I asked her, who are you? Who do you want to be? What does your day-to-day ideal life look like? And this is a woman who works her tail off. She works 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to midnight, like every day. She's just a hustler. She has her own business. She's a hustler. But I felt this, like, almost like she's doing because she doesn't know how to be enough. And not only does she not know how to be enough, she doesn't know who she wants to be enough. She doesn't know the ideal her. And she never gives herself the time and space to be in that energy. And I told her, you can't recreate and shift who you want to be if you don't know what that version of you looks like. And so she was like I felt her jaw drop on the phone, and she's like, I need to sit with this because you're right. I don't know who I want to be. I don't know what it looks like. And I want you all, I really do. I want you guys all. Your awakening is so you can live your best life, but you can't live your best life if you don't know what that looks like. So all you need to do, sit with yourself, start writing it out, start envisioning it. What does your ideal day look like from how you wake up, from the bedroom you're in, from the house you're in, from the job you do, from the activities you do, from the food you eat? What is the best version of you, the best identity of you? Who is that? What do you wear? What kind of clothes do you have? What kind of shoes do you like? And we have all been raised to think, well, I don't want to be materialistic, or I don't know. We've all been raised through mind. And I'm going to tell you right now, I've never been one to buy designer stuff. I've always thought that it's a waste of money. And now it's like, when I envision who my identity really is, man, I want to wear designer stuff. It's beautiful. We have this one life, and God wants us to enjoy ourselves. Let's live our best life, and whatever that looks like to you, envision it, own it, be it.
Yeah, be. Truly be in this every experience and moment you're in now. This is what our awakening was about. This is why we all met our twin flames. We met our twin flames because our soul wanted us to expand our levels of consciousness to the extent of becoming and knowing that we are the creator, that we are soul, and we are free. We are peace. We are love. When you know and remember who you are, your twin flame doesn't go far, my love. When you know and remember who you are, you're effing powerful, my loves. You are so powerful. You're more powerful than everyone around you. All these people that are asleep, they have no freaking idea how powerful you are, how magnetic you are, how much you embody the love that you are of source. You're literally walking with this love, this radiance of love within. You're walking around sharing it with everyone, and everyone else has no idea the amount of love that they feel, but they all have it. And guess what? Who feels it the most? The one that feels it the most out of everyone else in this world, and no one else will ever feel your love the most than your twin flame, my love. So this is you all becoming your best version of you as soul, becoming the truest version of you, the you that is radiant, that is a goddess, that is a celebrity, that is God. You are literally embodying your perfect, most beautiful, amazing life now. And that is why your person craves you when you remember who you are. That's why Elizabeth asked her friend, do you even know who you are? Do you know who you are as soul? Do you know how powerful you are? And I just realized something. Every time my person leaves my space, I go back and remember who I am. I'm not even kidding you guys. This is very instant, and you can all try it after this video. I remember who I am. And I feel into that. I close my eyes. I feel into my love. And there's no my person's not in my feeling at all. I can't. If I feel into him, he's not going to think of me. He's going to be obsessed with his work. He's going to forget about me. He's going to just not even think I'm around, right? But no, he left my space. I'm looking at my feet. I'm going to feel into the love that I am. And I close my eyes. And I feel into this love, this radiance of love bursting inside. This one that doesn't give an F about anyone but me, a soul. And bloop, I'll get a text. I'll get a call. He'll ask me where I am. It's instant, my love. It's energetic too. It's not something I thought of. I felt into it. Start feeling into soul. Start feeling into the soul that you all are, my beautiful souls. This is how you're magnetic, and this is how your person craves you and only you, because they are your soul. Holy freaking smokes, love.
I know.
It's just so freaking deep. Go ahead.
The last video we made, I swear we're like, this is the best one we've ever made. And then I hear this and it's like, this is the best video we've ever made. I love that we can co-create with you all, share the truth about this energy, and show you how not only does it pertain to your twin flame, but how it pertains to your life. Like, you are learning in these videos how to raise your levels of consciousness so that you can get closer and closer to the truest version of you, which is your God source energy. It is your soul. And in turn, your soul, your other half of your soul, will find you, will seek you out, because this is what they have been waiting for their entire life. Their other half that they cannot find through their internal self. They are looking for you to be their match. You are their match, and they can only find it within you.
Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, love, every video we make, like, you guys have no idea, we're shifting every day, my loves. And when we hit record, you could feel these shifts. You could feel this energy of soul. And we can feel you. We can feel your posts, your comments, your conversations that you guys share with us in our calls. OMG, my love, you're all shifting with us. We're all in this freaking beautiful, amazing journey together, and we're all shifting together. We love you guys so much. We hope this video allowed you to feel into the magnetic soul that you are, which is all that your twin flame craves, because, my love, soul draws soul. Love you. Bye, love.
Bye, love.